Hi, I'm Vibreen Samuels and welcome to another episode of Soul Stirring Astrology, where I give you my texture take on the world of astrology. On Friday the 13th there is a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, and invariably people think of Friday the 13th as being quite suspicious and bad things are going to happen. Well, actually it could be a very auspicious Friday the 13th. Reason being, as I said, because we have new beginnings, and new beginnings are great things. We have this new moon solar eclipse in Cancer. So an eclipse and lunations, i.e. the full moon and the new moon, eclipses, solar eclipse or lunar eclipse, when they come together, they just brighten up an area of your life. It's like walking into a room and the lights are on, you walk in, your eyes are acclimatized, the lights go off for a little while, they go back on, and you've got to readjust your vision. And in the readjustment, things seem sharper, they seem brighter. That's exactly what happens when the solar eclipse enters a particular realm in your chart. It focuses your attention, it acts like a beam into a particular area of life. It's new beginnings, it's initiation, it's renewed energy, it's vitality. You know, here we are in the midst of summer, so it's a glorious time to be showcasing who you are. It's new beginnings. Now, it forms an opposition with Pluto. Now, when we're looking at lunations and eclipses, what we're looking at is an axis. They're going to fall in one of two houses. So let me take you through the different areas of life. So when you're dealing with the first house and the seventh house, you're dealing with the axis of relationships. It could be the relationship you need to have with yourself, the new type of relationship you need to have with yourself, or it's dealing with relationships with other people. And so the opposition is Pluto is opposing this solar eclipse and new moon in Cancer. Pluto is in Capricorn. So what's happening here is that there's a power struggle. There's a relationship or relationships that you are having where you've got to confront a situation. It's an opposition, so there's a polarization of positions. You're dealing with power here. So where is it that you need to grow in power in order to confront a powerful position or a powerful person or a powerful situation, whereby you may have felt undermined, uncertain, but you can't hide or run away from this anymore. Now is the time, because over the next year, until the new moon enters Cancer again in July 2019, you're going to be focusing on this area of life. So your choice is you feed yourself in a nourishing and nurturing way. To do that, you cannot be contending with this power play that's going over in the seventh house. It's a situation that needs to be dealt with. If the solar eclipse and new moon fall into the second and eighth house, you're dealing with the theme of desire. What is it that you desire in terms of resources, money, your values, how you're using your skills and your talents, second house, or in the eighth house, where you're looking at the themes of joint resources, the management of joint resources, legacies, inheritance, sexual desires, intimacy, the intensity around sex and intimacy. So if the solar eclipse, new moon falls in either of those houses, you know you're dealing with the theme of desire. If it's in the third and the ninth house, you're dealing with the theme of the mind. Third house, it could be your style of communication changes. You might be writing, you might be speaking, you might be painting, you might be, you know, any form of communication that you're using, and it could be in a local area. So you could be taking up a new course, for example, that's going to expand your knowledge in some way, or you could be articulating a particular message. If it's in the ninth house, there might be the expansion of your mind, but it could be that you travel abroad in order to heighten your knowledge and your awareness and your mind. If we're looking at the fourth and then 10th house, you're dealing with the theme of home versus career. So could you be moving home? Could you be renovating your home? Could you be improving, refurbishing your home in some way? Or is there, you know, you may fall pregnant or a child is born and family members increase. So that's about the home. In the 10th house, are you changing job, moving into a new career, or is there a change in your public standing? Are you coming to prominence in your world of work? When we're looking at the 5th and the 11th house, we're looking at creativity versus sociability. So now's the time for you to be creative. You know, start writing that novel, start sculpting, you know, that image that you have in mind. This is about your unique self-expression, and now is the time to do it. If it falls in the 11th house, you're looking here at, you know, the expansion of your networks, your friendships, focusing on that for the next year. When you're looking at the 6th and the 11th house, you're looking at the themes of service versus sacrifice. 6th house, so how are you serving the people around you, your world of work? How are you being discerning with that? How are you caring around what it is that you do? It could also reflect your health-wise. How are you servicing your body? If it falls in the 12th house, you're looking at sacrifice. Are you being called to sacrifice an old behavioural pattern that is undermining you, or you have outgrown it, outlived it, it no longer serves you? Or it could be about a karmic pattern that you need to, a new karmic journey may be starting, or it's a completion of a cycle because it's the 12th house. So when we're looking at this new moon solar eclipse, it's renewed energy, it's vitality that's moving you in another direction. This is even more pertinent because the North Node is in Leo, the sign after Cancer, and it's at 5 degrees and it will be there until the 5th of November. So you've got about 3.5 months to really showcase who you are. Remember, this North Node has been travelling through Leo since last May 2017, and it's there for about 18 months. And this really is the time for you to step out proudly in your newly formed identity. It's in Leo. The sun is out, so make sure you shine. Now, the North Node is opposing Mars, and Mars is at 5 degrees of Uranus. Sorry, 5 degrees of Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So where you have Mars here, Mars is asserting or fighting or leading causes for the collective, humanitarian causes, whatever the involvement is. It's about furthering, improving the lives of others. But it's in conflict because the North Node is about you. It's in the 2nd house. It's about you, your talents, your skills, resources. If it falls in your 2nd house, the attention needs to be paid there. So you're reconciling, you know, the collective with the personal. You're reconciling your need for relationship with the relationship of others. And if the relationship of others is represented by Pluto, if that is destructive, now is the time for you to be releasing it from your life. Also, this is being reflected because Jupiter has just turned direct in Scorpio, the sign that both Mars and Pluto rule. So as Jupiter has been moving through, it's been this expansive examination of themes and issues and feelings that have been buried underneath the surface. So it could be the intensity of emotions. It could be, you know, sexual desires, passions that you have been thinking about. It could be about jealousies, insecurities. Jupiter touches it, so it's an expansion of that. But it's been retrograde, so you have had to think about what these themes mean for in your life. And now that Jupiter has turned direct, it's now time for you to act on it. So change is afoot wherever you look with this new moon solar eclipse in Cancer. And Cancer, at the end of the day, is ruled by the moon, and it's about how you nourish yourself. You know, Cancer is the crab, so it's got this hard carapace, this hard shell to protect this soft center. If you are doing your transformative work, you're in a position where you're feeling comfortable and confident to receive the nourishment, but also to give it to yourself first. So that's it. That's what's going to happen on this auspicious Friday the 13th. And for the next year, because the lunations and eclipses are a way that they're on some level a predictive tool. You can start using it to focus your attention, because if you have an eclipse and then you chart what happens over the next year with the lunations, what happens when, you know, the full moon appears and, you know, it starts to semi-sextile or sextiles, or the full moon opposes this eclipse. That's how you can start having a sense of what could show up in your world, and all you're doing is taking preparatory steps. So that brings me to the quote of the day, and the quote of the day is by Juanson, Dizon, and what he said is this: every day is a new beginning, and every sunrise is a new chapter waiting for you to write it. So that brings me to the question of the day. What are you going to do in order to really utilize this new moon solar eclipse, but use it to enhance your North Node journey in Leo? You have 3.5 months in terms of really putting a stake in the ground about you, your new direction, your new identity, and you're dovetailing it with this new beginning with the moon, new moon, and solar eclipse in Cancer. So that's it, beautiful people. Put your comments and questions in the comment box below. You know, I always love to connect with you. Feel free to share this episode with anybody in your network, and you can like and subscribe to my channel. Just one more word in terms of, I love sharing astrology with you, as you know, but I do now ignore any of you who make comments which clearly indicates you are looking for direction with regards to your personal situation. If you want a personal reading with me, I do consultations, as you know. Drop me an email at bybreensamuels@googlemail.com. That's bybreensamuels@googlemail.com. If you want anything to do with what's going on in your life, then I'm happy to deliver a consultation to you. So that's it, beautiful people. Have a wonderful time. Enjoy this energy. Work with the energy. It's a very productive one. All of it is always going to be productive. It's about how conscious you are on your journey. So until we speak again, bye-bye.